everybody. I'm your host, Jaime Soretta. On this podcast, we celebrate everything local. And I want to introduce you to one of my favorite jewelry designers here in the Valley. Her name is Dawn Baden of Lucky Star Jewels, and she is celebrating 20 years with her business.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it
I
either.
can't believe it.
You must have started at 12 years old, Dawn.
Yes,
she defies
exactly.
time and makes us look beautiful as well.
Exactly.
Tell me about your jewelry designs and how you create them. What's the vibe?
So the vibe is everyday chic. You can wear my jewelry from the beach to the boardroom. The quality is amazing, so you don't have to worry about that. You can mix and match. It's all designed to layer. Everything goes. I have a few of my favorites that are on right here. My signature D, and I've got our Wimbledon necklace on as well.
And which is kind of like a tennis bracelet look.
It's just anything goes. I kind of take my jewelry box and go, what is it today? And these are my
everything
favorites.
goes together.
It does. It's all designed to mingle and layer. Yes.
Because you know I'm studying every piece that you're wearing and how I can make my little collection that I've kind of created a little collection of your things.
I love that.
Over the years. And you're right. That. So versatile.
So versatile.
And I'm wearing a pair right now. What pair am I wearing right here?
So those are the Caroline pearl hoop.
Okay.
Yes. The Caroline pearl hoop. They're genuine pearl.
Oh.
The hoop itself is 14 karat gold filled, so you don't have to worry about getting your ear infected. It's super, super light.
Yeah, it is super light.
Right?
So thank you for
super
that.
Light. Yes, of course.
There was a time where many of us were wearing very heavy earrings and we were suffering, and we started searching for some lighter earrings, and I found you with Lucky Star.
I'm so happy you did.
It's important because,
it
your heels are hurting, your ears are hurting.
It is important. And you know what? Every single earring that we create is actually, it's wearable.
Yeah.
So you don't ever have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how you got started, where you're from.
Sure, I would love to. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I was born and raised there. And at 17, I moved to the desert and went to ASU. I studied fine art.
Oh, fine art over there. And then you moved back to Philly, though.
I did. For my last 2 years of school, I went to Temple University.
Focusing on art still?
No, I actually changed my major to psychology.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Oh, my gosh. Yes. Wrong move for me.
Oh, was it, though?
Wrong move for me.
You're still in art.
Yeah, true.
And now you know how to work with people and employees. So maybe it was a good move.
I do, I think. I think there's no mistakes.
Okay, so what brought you back to home? Because you've been here for how long now?
I have now been back for 28 years.
Wow.
Yeah, my oldest daughter was 2 years old when we moved back. We started a business in the Valley at about that time, and that's what brought us back to Arizona.
How wonderful.
Yeah.
And then is that the time that you started this business as well?
Actually, it was not. During that time, I had a children's wear company. So I did children's accessories and clothing and sold to retailers all over.
These were your designs?
These were my designs, yes.
Oh, so she had a different business with this. Oh, how interesting.
I did.
Were you selling a storefront? Did you have a storefront here in the Valley?
I did not have a storefront. I sold to stores. I sold to various boutiques in the Valley. We sold to mass retailers. It was really a lot of fun.
What was that brand? Would people recognize?
It was called, actually it was called Goldilocks, because I started doing hair accessories. So Goldilocks for locks of hair. And then I created that brand for about 8 years or so. Yeah, and I got into Lucky Star very serendipitously.
Okay,
so you could hear why.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I remember coming home from being at the mall, and I was on the search for like the perfect everyday pieces, kind of like this, and to no avail. And I was so frustrated. I remember laying in bed saying nothing spoke to me. Everything was either too basic or too beady or too expensive or poor quality. And I thought, I dabbled in making jewelry when I was in high school, and I thought, you know what? I think if I can't find it, I need to create it.
Wow.
It's just my brain. So given that I was in the kids business, I had a little box of samples. And in that box, I found some cord and some charms, and I actually whipped together a necklace. It was. I had like a leftover. I had a D, and I had some leftover cord, and I was like, I kind of like this. I think, and my friends were complimenting me on it, and
you say cord. What
it
does
was
cord
like
mean?
cord. I'll translate.
Yes.
It was like a ribbon. I wish I had the piece right now so I could show it to you, Jamie. But it was pretty cool. And you could take the necklace, you could wrap it as a bracelet, kind of like a multi-purpose. So I think it was about a week later, here in the Valley, I had a really great account, and I went in to check on them. I sold them my kids' accessories. And she was like, Dawn, what are you wearing? And I was like, oh, this? And she's
This
like,
whole thing, I just whipped this up.
And I'm like, you noticed? No. And she said, I must have those for the boutique.
Oh.
I said, sure. I can make these for you.
Well,
And it was a color cord. And I said, well, what letters do you want? She goes, well, of course I need the whole alphabet. And I said, and do you want this color? Because I want all of them. I want all of them. And I thought, oh my God, I only had one letter left and it was leftover cord. So I said to my husband, I'm like, babe, we're going to New York.
Oh.
I said, I have an order. He's like, we're going to go to New York for one order? And I said, you just watch. You just watch. And literally in that moment is, I would say, when my baby Lucky Star was born.
Oh.
So
How wild. Are you still in touch with this person? Who's this person?
actually, sadly, I was.
Yeah.
Most of the accounts that I have had from the inception of my business are still my customers.
Yeah.
Sadly, I think one of the partners moved off and they're no longer in business, but I sold to them until they closed. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
incredible. It's
Yeah.
amazing how that one order, that one thing that you wear, that one thing that you create, kind of just for yourself for fun, is
Truly.
where it all takes off.
Truly. That was, I think then that was like, I have to say, my aha moment. Like, I can do this. I started noticing people were liking what I was wearing. People wanted more of what I had, and you couldn't find it.
Yeah.
So I always thought, and I dabbled in making jewelry in high school, and I thought, you know what? If I can't find it, I'm going to create it.
Isn't that funny?
So, yeah.
It's so great how many people I speak to who are business owners who have created their own thing that has been successful for decades, that started as something that they just kind of like to do in high school. You got to look at that downtime that you enjoyed as a child and how to make a career out of that.
Yeah.
I mean, what a true success story that is.
Yeah, I remember in high school, all the kids, they're going to parties, and I locked myself in my room playing with beads. So
Not really.
I don't think
She still does this today.
Kind of a late bloomer, but I do remember at my high school reunion, some of the students that were there it was by no surprise that I have this brand. So
Oh, really?
that was it's pretty fun.
So let's talk about we're moving to cords or whatever that means, Dawn, to go into New York and sourcing your materials that you're using now.
So actually, I always had an eye for what it was that I wanted, and the treasure hunt was to find what I was looking for, right? So I surrounded myself. I did know just where to go, like what area to go to for my kids' business. It's kind of the same, similar at least. And I would go, and I'd go up and down the streets, and I would source, and I would literally, just like I did when I was in high school, buy chains, buy cords, play, experiment, put pieces together, just like I did that first necklace.
So what is that? Is that the fashion district in New York City?
Yes.
Or what?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I'm unfamiliar.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they
yeah.
have gold, and they have pearls, and they have things like that.
They
you can
do.
give back.
Yes, they do.
Okay, so let's talk about, when did you launch Lucky Star Jewels? When did you create that? Was it from that first order and then you started building out?
It really was. It was from that first order. And when I came back and I was sourcing, I found some other pieces that I thought would be fun. So that first store, they expanded on their orders.
Yeah.
And then I literally went door to door. I went all over the valley. One of my first accounts was the Village Clubs, which I'm still in there today.
Yes, you are. Uh-huh.
And I think that's where you might have found the brand.
Yes.
And then from that, you know how it grows. It just serendipitously, I went to, we have a really strong niche in the spa business. And so I'm not really sure exactly how it happened at the time, but the Four Seasons in Scottsdale found out about us.
Hello.
And then, so we've had a designated case in there for the past, like 13 years.
Yeah.
Yes. And then like a little seed, it sprouted, and we started expanding.
So to go to, is it True North, the Four Seasons? Is that-
Yes.
So
True North,
to go to
yes.
True North and walk into the Four Seasons Spa and see a case of your babies, things that you created, you designed, what does that feel like?
The feeling, even today versus 20 years ago, it's magical, honestly. I'm like, they love my pieces. They want my pieces. Wow, like I created this, and it's like, this is pretty unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's still that same feeling.
So when you
Yeah.
are creating, what is that process like? Are you building? Are you playing with some of your materials, or are you drawing them?
I still do. I do both. If it's something that's colored, I'll draw it out. I've got a bunch of markers on my desk at work. And now we have, I'm solely the design team here, still to this
Party
day,
of
20 years
one.
later. Yes.
Wow.
And I don't, I'll make the first sample on occasion, but we sell to quite a few stores. So our design team assembles all of the jewelry, because I wouldn't be able to do that type of production.
Right.
But
How many people do you have?
we have a tiny team. We have 5 of us.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That's
and we have
incredible.
2 who make jewelry. They've been working for me for years, day in, day out.
And so
Sherman
trusted,
and Vernon.
trusted,
They are
em-
trusted.
trusted employees.
Yes, they are. They are.
Oh my gosh. You have, I mean, I don't even know if I should. You have how many different designs?
You know,
Because I was searching through your website the other day.
funny you asked. I was on my social media, and I was trying to tag a style.
Yeah.
And it was actually a hoop.
Oh,
and I
yeah, that's
looked, and I was trying to search the hoop
Uh-huh.
so I could tag it appropriately. And I looked on my website, and I have 183 different style hoops.
Oh my gosh.
So you can imagine all the categories. That's just hoops.
That's why I love Lucky
Yes.
Star. I love a good hoop.
Yeah, there's a lot to offer.
Oh,
Still the
my
hoop.
God. So
Right.
do you ever just go, I'm tapped out. I need a weekend. I need a break.
Absolutely.
What happens then?
You know what? I think it took me a really long time, but I think there's power in the pause. I just got back from vacation, and it makes you feel recharged when you're out of your own head.
Yeah. And the work responsibility and the
work
deadlines, because you must have deadlines for getting orders out,
Always.
etc.
Always.
Yeah.
There's always deadlines, just like with anything. And like I said, the power of pause, just to stop and just to reset, I feel like makes me so much better at what I do. And I had a really hard time with that in the beginning, to be honest with you.
Well, you're climbing the ladder. You're still kind of in the scratch
right.
and getting
That's
yourself
right. That's right.
known. So now that people know you, you have orders that come in that you can probably count on. How does that change your shift as far as being a business owner 20 years later?
As far as the orders coming in,
As far as like just your mentality.
you know what? I feel like now, through all of the orders and always from the inception of my business, we have developed such an incredible relationship with all of our customers, not just store owners, but in our studio that you've been to, or in our showroom. We develop these incredible relationships where our customers will come in and they'll talk to us. We learn about their kids. We learn about their family. So to me, getting a store order is, no more exciting than you coming to my showroom and buying a hoop or an earring. It's the connections.
Yeah.
It's really the connections.
Yeah, it's fun to get to know the people who are wearing your things proudly.
Yes, and they feel beautiful.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, whenever
I
I
love
get
that.
compliments on my earrings, Lucky Star Jewels, they're local. I always
Aw.
shout they're local because they're
Thank
so
you.
beautiful. And, you see them in the spa. You think, oh, that must be some big company somewhere. And you don't think it's Dawn and her 4 employees cranking it out
exactly.
every single day, making it work right here in Scottsdale. And you mentioned your showroom in Scottsdale.
Yes.
Tell us about where you're located, because I love buying online, and I will say your shipping is impeccable. It arrives like
Thank
before
you. Yeah, we
super
offer.
fast.
Thank you. Yeah, we're quick.
Yeah.
We're really quick.
Yes, you are.
So our showroom is located in the Air Park, and we initially opened up that showroom specifically for our wholesalers. So stores like the Four Seasons,
Yeah.
the Village, and whatnot. And when the pandemic came to us, it was at first it wasn't the greatest gift, but it turned out to be incredible. So we are brick and mortar. We are open to the public by appointment. We are at 73rd Street, so it's that back street that you take where Scottsdale Quarter is.
Okay.
And it's actually really cool because when you come to visit, you've seen the ladies are there working.
Yeah.
We have our offices in there. We do order fulfillment in there, and it's our showroom.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you have a ton. I mean,
We have a ton.
Not to double down on it, but yes, you have a lot of different
Yes.
designs.
Yes.
So-
And there's a
Oh,
lot more
different.
that we offer
Yeah.
and exclusives in our showroom.
Yeah.
So we welcome everybody to come
It's
take a
immaculate
peek.
space.
Thank
So,
you. Small but mighty. Small but
You said
mighty.
it, Dawn.
Yeah.
But it's true, because you look like a big corporation. That's how it looks when you see it in the
Aw.
stores and stuff. But yet you could tell it's touched with love. And like you said, it's so wearable. I always have your earrings accessible. So, I have a lot of things over the years that I've collected, but yours are in the nightstand. They're
Aw.
on my bathroom counter. they're where I can reach them quickly and I grab them and I go because I know they're going to match. I know they're going to look classy. I know they're going to look great. And they also last as well.
They do.
So that's important too.
What
do you do to,
that's
because
very important.
You see a lot of the advertisements about, gold you can wear in the pool and stuff. I think I see that a lot on Instagram now. Tell me about how you make sure that your stuff lasts.
Honestly, even talking to our factories that manufacture, they never recommend wearing jewelry in the water just because of all the chemicals and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, you have to really source good materials. And I was talking about the weight of an earring. Mm-hmm. We have our hoops custom made where they're hollow on the inside so you don't feel the weight. Mm-hmm. The material is 14 karat gold filled and they retain their color. Yeah. They all retain their color. So that's what taking care of your jewelry and storing it properly and whatnot will really create long-lasting pieces, just so like you
not
have.
The bathroom counter.
No, you're fine. Just don't soak it in water.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
So what would you tell someone who's thinking about, gosh, I'd love to do something like what she's doing, about how you got started?
Oh, you know what? I think truly I feel most successful when I can inspire someone. So I would love someone to reach out. I would love to tell them. I love to give them the courage. I have a 20-year-old daughter right now that's at ASU, and she's finishing up her senior year, and she's studying design, actually.
Stop it.
And it's funny. There's a lot of naysayers. She wanted to start her own brand of clothing, and I have friends going, oh, it's too competitive, or, wow, like there's so many brands that are like that. And if you have a dream, don't give up on it. Don't listen to people. I've heard people say to me, I could buy hoops in Target. And I said, well, that's not my hoop.
Yeah,
go for it. And I'm still,
we're not talking, you're not my customer.
And I'm still in business. So I want to encourage everyone. If you have a dream, you've got to go for it. Don't give up.
Yeah.
Don't give up.
How exciting to have your daughter in design.
Yeah, it's
being
really
a business
cool. Yes.
owner too.
Yeah.
So what were some challenges as far as being a business owner? Something that maybe surprised you? Something about, I don't know, red tape to get the doors open? Something that caught you off, surprised you?
I think I'm really blessed in this business, and I've had a lot of success in getting new buyers and customers, and there's been a lot of yeses. And I'm so grateful for that. But sometimes there's opportunities where by nature, I want to say, yes, sure. Sometimes it's okay to say no. I think I said yes a little too much. You have to stay super focused. You can't be everything to everyone. So I think there's power in the pause, in taking a step back and saying, this is not for me. And in the beginning, I didn't do those things. And then in the end, I realized, wow, that was a really big learning lesson.
With like an order that you filled, or
yeah,
something
yes, it was an order that I was working on, and the customer base wasn't really my customer. And this business could, like anything, it could be a little cutthroat. Yeah. And I was so afraid of saying no. I didn't want to do it. It was completely non-profitable. Yeah. And sometimes that's okay, because if there's a lesson that you get out of it, then it's worth it all day long. Yeah. So just stay in your lane and focus on your customer.
Yeah. It's hard. I always say you got to keep blinders on.
100%. It is so true. It is so true.
You have the people who would be the naysayers. You have some, opportunities that come to you. So people see you as a successful thing. They want a piece of the pie, and it might not be benefiting. It's benefiting them and not you.
Yeah, and I think another example is within this business. We do these trade shows, and there's other brands that are maybe just starting, and I'm always such a sharer. And they're like, oh, they just have earrings. And they're like, where do you get your chain? That's really pretty. And I learned the hard way, and sometimes I like to share proprietary information, just thinking, oh, everybody's in their own wheelhouse. They can, let me just tell them they're starting. They're this entrepreneur, and they're just budding. And this one particular person actually infringed on my designs and created some pieces in their collection, which were, let's just say, 99.9% identical. So sometimes you just have to protect yourself. So that was a tough lesson too. So now I'm a little more quiet.
Yeah. Isn't that a shame? I mean, it's a shame.
It's a
That
shame.
it has to be that way.
It's a shame.
And then, did you have any ability to sue, or how does that? How does that work? How do you protect your collection?
In this case, I didn't. I just went on and I just
Created
kind of
something
learned.
else.
I just kind of learned. But there was a major retailer who did do that, and I spend as much time on my collection than I do with my family, maybe more sometimes. It's a lot of work, and I was like, this was actually a retailer that looked at my collection when I had a showroom in LA. And they passed, and the reason they passed is because they duplicated it. I guess they made it overseas. And so we did pursue that, and it was a massive retailer. And I remember going, I don't even know how to do this.
Yeah.
And so I consulted with an attorney, and he said, I think you got something here. And within 24 hours, it was off their shelf. It was done.
Oh my
it was
gosh,
done.
John.
Yes. Yeah, it was done. So, you learn.
Yeah.
You learn.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you have a sharing heart and spirit. And it's too bad that we do, as business people, have to protect ourselves and what you've created. And I'm glad you fought for yourself, too. That's important.
Yeah, I think we learn that we need to.
Yeah.
We have to.
Yeah. And then that means that your daughter, who's getting ready to graduate, who might be a business owner soon, sees
That's
her
right.
mama do these things as well.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's so cool. So when you are creating your stuff, tell me what you're doing. Are you sitting somewhere special? You're hanging by the pool? Like, where do these ideas come to you from?
I had a feeling you would ask me
Really?
that. Yes. You know what? I'm inspired by so much. I love fashion, so I'm always checking out the latest trends. And we're not necessarily like, we do have trend pieces, but we have classics. So I'm forever looking at fashion. All the fashion shows, Fashion Week. Sometimes I could be on a run and look at the sky, and just the way the colors look inspire me. So it's really everything in nature. I get inspired on my travels. I think I just have that brain.
Yeah. So you're always looking at design. And you
I'm
mentioned
always
Spain.
looking at design.
What was your takeaway from your visit to Spain, as far as what kind of little hint will we see in your next line that maybe would be Spain inspired?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to wait until fall so you could see. Yes, it's actually it's in the works right now.
Is?
Yes,
So there
I was
is something
so
happening for the-
inspired. Yes,
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's on the drawing board. I can't wait for you to see.
Well, you should
Yeah,
just
hint,
said
hint,
sometimes you
hint.
overshare.
Yeah,
So she's
Hint.
taking her own lesson. Okay.
Yeah.
Something on the drawing board.
yeah. But all of my So when I create a collection, the name of the pieces are always inspired by something or someone. So you might see some names of some of my
Ooh.
favorite places. Yes.
So do you
So
play
it will
tennis?
be-
Because you have your Wimbledon line. Do you play tennis?
So I did play tennis. I played tennis in high school, but in Spain I actually discovered padel. Do you know padel?
No.
Oh, it's amazing. So it's not pickleball. You actually play with it looks exactly like a tennis ball. I think it's maybe a few millimeters smaller.
Okay.
And you play on a little bit of a shorter court, and the paddle is, it's a solid paddle, and it is so much fun. You can bounce it off of the wall. So kind of obsessed with paddle now. It's coming.
Paddle.
Actually, I think the
Just like
pronunciation
paddle.
could be padel, but that's Spanish. So here I think we would say paddle. But I believe there is a court. We investigated. I think the Village on Camelback, perhaps. Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious.
So
All
I
those
definitely-
pickleballers are Googling this right now.
oh, they are. Yeah.
I'm sure they're like, what
This
did she
is
talk
like
about?
a huge thing in Europe.
Wow.
Yes,
Well,
it's
it usually
coming.
comes to us next.
It's coming.
Right? Takes
or
a
I'll
couple
bring
of
it.
years. So yes, she's gonna
Just kidding.
make it happen.
Yeah.
For sure. So let's remind people, for folks who have not seen your line, what kind of things you do, because you go from top to bottom. I mean, you've got the earrings, the necklaces, the rings.
Yeah, so we do everything in summer. To add to your list, we do anklets, we do hand chains, we have earrings, we have studs, we have little huggies for the little ones, for every day, for playing sports. Those are great. Studs, hoops. We have necklaces, we have chokers, we have lariats. This is the Wimbledon lariat. We have different kinds of bracelets. We just introduced some new cuffs to our collection.
Oh wow!
So
And I love that your rings are one size fit all.
yes, they are.
That is
They are.
perfection for gift giving.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Completely adjustable. So fit size 5 to 8.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
5 to 8, she
5
says.
to 8. 5 to 8.
What, Dawn, what does it look like at your place, at your home, where you have all your jewelry? What is it? What is it? Is it,
You
do you have one of
know,
those big standing cabinet
I'll tell you
things
the
with-
truth. For
tell
full
me.
disclosure, it's like the shoemaker where the kids have no shoes.
Oh.
I feel like I have no jewelry.
What? You're wearing so much right now. Where
yes,
is it?
I am. I do. I have a small collection. Everybody who knows me, I'm always selling off of me.
Oh,
by the end of the day at work, when the customers come in, I'll come home and I'll be like, where are my earrings?
Yeah, you sold
Where
them.
are my necklace? I'm like, naked.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Hey, you want it? You like it?
That's right. My daughters take my jewelry too. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right. So we need to work on a little Lucky Star collection for you.
I do. I do. I need to build my collection like you. Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like I have so many of those black bags, those beautiful presentation bags that you
When
have.
I run out, I'm going to come to
Yes,
you.
please, I have them. I have a pile of them for sure. So tell me what you're doing when you're not working. How are you spending your time? What are you loving in Arizona right now? What are you eating? What are you drinking?
What am I eating? What am I drinking?
What are you reading?
I'm always, I'm on a super health kick ever since I come home from Spain.
Oh,
yeah.
Why? Because do you indulge when you're in Spain?
Well, I got this. No, you know what's incredible? Mm-hmm. We actually went to Italy first, and I ate pasta morning, noon, and night. But I lost weight from eating pasta. They don't use preservatives in their food. And I don't drink soda, but here, you can add so much sugar and there's no stipulation. If you're in Europe and you add a certain amount of sugar, you're actually taxed and charged.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So I'm drinking a lot more water, drinking lemon water. I got an app that checks all the preservatives and all the junk in the food. And so my husband, we're at the airport and he's scanning water.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you won't believe how the water comes up. I want to find a padel court.
Yes,
sure.
yes.
And for fun, other than wanting to find padel and other than spending time with my family, which I love doing.
Yeah. What do you guys do together?
Well, me and my daughter, we go for super long walks together. Now that it's so hot, I'm a runner, but I cannot run in the summer. And we just love when we hang out. We've got 4 dogs. So my other passion is rescue. Yeah, rescue. So if I'm not at my office, I might be at Maricopa pulling an animal from the shelter.
Oh,
so yeah.
And pulling them to take home?
So we had 5 dogs. We just lost one a couple months ago, sadly. Yeah, that we had rescued as well from the streets of Yuma. I feel like personally, I don't think I could take another dog on. Yeah. So what we try to do is I'm affiliated with some little rescues in town that are amazing, and they have all the right people in place. So I'll contact them, and if there's a dog that I connect with all of them. Aww. But if there's a dog that's on the youth list or whatever, I will call and have it pulled, and then we have a foster that we have in place for the dog, and then we get it adopted. I just did this with a family, and we adopted him to a family in Sun City.
So you're running your own little dog rescue.
I have a little pseudo dog rescue.
You do.
Tiny. Tiny.
Oh my gosh, good for you. What is it about animals that you love so much in dogs? They're the best.
They're the best. I love them all. I think the unconditional love that they give you, they don't say a word. You never say a word for the 13, 14, 15 years of life, God willing. And they're just always there. Always there.
So you never want to...
I've always loved animals.
Did you ever want to put maybe have a little doggy line? Do you have a...
Actually, we are friends with a guy, a gentleman who's a vet, and he's a personal friend of ours, and he has a dog store. And I honestly dream about making dog collars.
So it's coming soon. That must be coming soon.
Up next.
Oh, so many things you're saying. Stay tuned to, Dawn.
Stay tuned. Yeah, stay tuned.
Very cool. Thank you so much for being on my podcast with me.
I'm honored.
I just adore you. It's great to see you again. Love your things. And I love showing off your beautiful things and wearing them and telling everyone they are local as well. And congrats on 20 years in the business.
Thank you so
Many
much.
more to come.
I'm honored.
Thanks for listening to Jamie's Local Love, the podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Soretta. Our technician is Tom Heidinger. Our editors are Lorraine Shearing and Gina Coy. Do you know a business worthy of some local love? Email me at jsoretta@azfamily.com. Follow us at facebook.com/Soretta and Instagram @Soretta News. Make sure to subscribe and give us a 5-star review, please. And tell your friends about the podcast and the businesses we feature to show your local love. You can find us on Apple, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, and anywhere you get your podcasts.
Jamie's Local Love, an Arizona's Family Originals podcast.